All right, guys, so I'm going to talk about being funded for the first time on Topstep with a 50k XFA, starting with the process of getting funded, and then after that, my first week of being funded. Back to the plans, back to the bags, yeah, back to the plans, back to the bands. All right, man, being funded, bro. You know, it's always a good time to get a little certificate, something with your name on it. That's awesome. It's a great accomplishment. You know, a lot of people underestimate what that actually means. You know, especially when you get used to it. But if you're watching this and you've never been funded before, I've been there. I've watched all the videos. I know what you're doing right now. You're gonna make it, man. It's gonna happen. All right. So look, getting funded, the 50k, right? So I come from Forex. I've been funded before. This is my first time being funded with a futures prop. So it was a 50k account, and it was only 6%, right? I only say only because on Forex, usually it's like 8, then 5%. So 8 to pass the first phase, then 5% to pass the second phase. This is only one phase. It is a trailing drawdown, but it's only 6%. So when I was passing this account, I had done it in 3 trades. That was my goal, and I was able to accomplish that. I risked around, I want to say like 700 per trade, so quite a bit, a little bit over, maybe like 1.5% of the account, just to make that a little bit over 2% on some cases. But I did it in 3 trades. I got the certificate, yay, yo. You know, but yeah, now I'm funded with the XFA. Now this whole thing brought a bunch of different challenges, man. I didn't really know how to really use contracts, how this all worked, and all this stuff. So I just read online, you know, the FAQs on Topstep and see what's going on there. And then I quickly realized how much I could risk and all these other things. But yeah, let's go on to the first week of trading. All right, man. So the first week of trading, man, all right, cool. So about the whole futures contract stuff and all that stuff, besides reading the FAQ, I realized I can't really do math like that on the fly, especially if I'm trading like a couple different instruments. So I just used good old ChatGPT and created myself a position size calculator for futures contracts, man. So I used that because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be funded now, so I'm probably gonna need this like good. I can't just like, you know, send it, you know. So I took the weekend before I started trading the next week and then just knocked that out, and it worked great, you know. So first day of trading, man. First day, it was Tuesday. I only trade 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. First day of the week, man, that was horrible. Monday night, I had really bad sleep. I was kind of excited, and also I have a little bit of insomnia going on. So I had that going on, and I woke up very jittery. I didn't really sleep well. Kept waking up. And then by the time it was time to trade, I drank some more coffee. I drank some coffee, and it just wasn't hitting right. So first trade of the day was gold, and then I took a $400 loss. So I was like already feeling it. I was like, damn, man, this is not that great. Man, I gotta come back. So then I took another trade. It was on NQ, and then I lost another 280 bucks, bro. So this is already a recipe for a disaster, man. I don't like to trade like this. I don't like to trade more than once or twice a day. But I did anyway because it's the XFA and I'm jittery, and you know, I'm losing my way a little bit. So the third trade, I got in, it went up in profit, and then I put the stop loss to break even, and I lost that one, right? So I gained $25, you know? Fourth trade, yeah, I traded 4 times, well, 5 times really. The fourth trade, I lost again. It was something outside the plan, 500 bucks, gone, right? So at this point, I'm already down, man, like 1,200 bucks. So this kind of sucks for me. And I'm like, I just got this account, bro. This is what's going on here, you know? So then I regrouped. I said, USA, you know, I took a breather, breathe in, breathe out, relax. Okay, just look for the setup, try to make one, and then this is it. Like, call it quits, right? So then I got into a trade, boom. It was NQ, and I made 590, bro, that day. So that was great. And then we ended up the day with, I want to say like a $600 loss, something like that. Anyway, after trading, I want to go ahead and like regroup my activity, right? My behavior, what the hell happened? Like, what was I doing? Why did I feel the way I did? What triggered it, right? So this is something that I have to remind myself of often, and I feel like it's something a lot of traders struggle with. Even if you're a great trader, it's gonna be not identifying with the result. So if you win the trade, it doesn't mean you're a good trader. If you lose the trade, it doesn't mean you're a bad trader, you know? But yeah, your only job is to execute at the right time, at the right moments. And you know when you did something bad, man, you know? Like, for me, it's just if I make a mistake and then I justify the next trade by saying, oh man, I made a mistake, I lost that one, but I cannot make a mistake on the next one, and I could probably win. And then maybe you lose that one, and then that's when the spiral starts. And whatever, you know, psychologically I wasn't there. So yeah, I had to remind myself of not identifying myself with the outcome, and just come back the next day refreshed and start all over. So our next day, it was Wednesday. Wednesday was quite a day. So Wednesday, I got into the first trade. It was Dow Jones. I got in there and I started trading at 8 a.m. So I got in there at 8, and I didn't realize that news was going to come out for the United States. I don't remember which one it was specifically, but news was coming out at 8:15. At 8:09, your boy was out the trade. Yeah, because I'm not going to stay in there, bro. I don't like news. I don't mess with news. I'd rather just trade after the news passes. So I got out of that trade, $100 in profit. And I was like, all right, cool, man. Let's keep going on to the next one, right? So I let news subside for a bit. And after 8:30, some other news came out. I wait like half an hour after the news passes, and then I'll trade again. So at 9 o'clock Eastern time, I got into NQ. NQ dropped for 101 and gave me some profit. And I like to break even, you know, especially right now. I'm in drawdown, right? At this point, I'm like $600 in drawdown. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I put the stop loss to break even, and it hits it, right? So I'm like up $60, so I'm up 160 for the day or whatever. That's fine. I'm looking at this trade again though. I'm still looking at it. I'm like, hey, is it gonna drop or not? You know, is it gonna go against me or what? So about 15 more minutes passes, and I'm making decisions on the fly, man. You know, this is all like scalping, and it's not moving. It's staying there. It doesn't want to go up. You know, sellers are in control. So I get back in the trade, and we end up with a profit of 1170. So that was a good day, you know. So Wednesday, we ended up the day with 1285. So that's pretty good. We're up $600 on the account towards that, you know, to do the drawdown so I can get the payout in like 5 profitable days, right? Okay, so now Thursday, which is today for me recording this video. We went ahead and did only one trade today. Today, I think I performed my best. Again, it was not identifying with the outcomes. It was just going ahead and trading my trade and seeing what happens, you know? So today, I had to be patient again. At the start of my session, there was some setups, but news was going to come out and it was going to interrupt like the whole flow. right? So about 8:15, I had a setup, but I didn't take it because 8:30 there was going to be news. So I didn't take it and waited, you know. So once I waited around, I want to say like 9:30, I got into, well, before 9:30, it was like 8:45 around there, right? So I got into the trade and we won, man. NQ dropped, fell, and we ended up with profit of $773. So yes, so the challenges were this week of just learning how to risk properly using my calculator, my newly made calculator, seeing how fast these things move, and then just navigating from there, and then just trying to make a profit at the end of the week. But yeah, so this is just kind of how I do it, man. This was the first week of trading the 50k XFA. I'm just making these videos to kind of just document my journey, man. If you're watching this and you're going through the same thing, hey, look, you're not alone, you know? And I remember just watching these kinds of things and trying to remind myself that I'm not alone. This is a journey. This happens, and nobody's perfect. So we will make mistakes, but as long as we're keeping an eye on our behavior, we can mitigate the losses and you know, our downfalls, right? All right, man. Well, my name is Profit with Jason. I'm Jason, and hope you have an amazing day, night, whatever, whenever you're watching this, and peace out. Later.